In Ulysses Part 2, Episode 6, The Odyssey, Hades, it's nearly 11 a.m. on Thursday. Bloom, Simon Dedalus, Martin Cunningham, and Mr. Power travel in a carriage to Dignam's funeral. Along the way, the men gossip about the people they pass. Bloom points out Stephen Dedalus. Simon Dedalus, Stephen's father, assumes he's on his way to see Sarah and Richie Golding, his aunt and uncle, and Simon speaks scornfully of them. Bloom thinks about his son Rudy, who died after only 11 days of life. The carriage passes an old Jewish man. Martin Cunningham and Mr. Power make fun of him, and Simon Dedalus curses him. Mr. Power and Simon Dedalus talk about suicide, agreeing it's cowardly and a disgrace. Bloom thinks about the inquest into his father's death and a letter his father left him. The men then discuss a famous case of murder and an accident in which a corpse fell out of the hearse. At the cemetery, Martin Cunningham pulls Mr. Power aside to say, "I was in mortal agony with you talking of suicide before Bloom." Bloom's father committed suicide. The priest intones Latin prayers. Afterward, Simon Dedalus weeps for May, his recently deceased wife. Some men talk about Bloom's attractive wife Molly and wonder why she married a Jew. The burial itself begins. Bloom counts the mourners, 12, making him 13. But he decides a man wearing a Macintosh is actually the 13th, death's number. Bloom thinks about all the corpses in the ground and of inventions, a clock or speaking tube to make sure the newly buried are really dead, and gramophones to remember their voices. Bloom sees John Henry Menton, who long ago took a dislike to him, and points out his hat is dented. In the Odyssey, Odysseus visits Hades to get advice from the prophet Tiresias. By writing a Hades episode, Joyce is staking a claim. Ulysses is an epic for the 20th century, and Bloom is his Odysseus figure. The connection to epic literature is made explicit. When Simon Dedalus passes his son Stephen, he makes scornful remarks and doesn't attempt to address him, but he does salute Blazes Boylan coming out of a pub. The man without a son, Bloom, and the man without much of a father, Stephen, seem destined to inhabit a father-son relationship, a central theme of the novel.